Backwards hat, forwards hat.
Welcome in, Docs Daily. It is Monday. It is February 23rd. And just like I said Saturday, I'd see you Monday morning with a gold medal. I don't have one personally. Mine's in the mail. But either way, men's hockey to the wall, to the window. You know, don't make me come through. We'll talk about men's hockey and all that because that's why we're late. We were backstage talking about that. Joined with Craig Trapp, Nick Menken, and Griffin Murphy, the packed house today. For maybe the shortest card of the year, 3 NBA games and 9 college basketball games. But you know, it is what it is. Craig's gonna have some story from vacation, I'm sure. It's going to be inappropriate.
You don't want to. It's just I got one.
I'm going to tell you what I did Sunday morning during Olympic hockey, and these two are going to laugh their asses off on the bottom. I'm just telling you right now. And we're going to give you some free plays along the way. You got questions about games? Drop it in the chat. Let's discuss. We got time. Don't forget about the free $60 account. Link is in the description of the video. Free $60 on any handicapper you want plays over at the website. You click the link, take you right over there. Split it up between these three. Use it on one of them. Use it on none of them. You do you, Pikachu. Free $60 account link is in the description of the video. For $5, you could have followed along with Olympic hockey and won some money. Link is in the description of the video. You can get on level 1 for $4.99 a month. Level 2 is Indian Cowboy and myself for $20 a month. And Craig Trapp brings you $49.99 a month. Brings you video from all over the world. Okay, from pools, bathtubs, showers, all of kitchens, retirement homes, Chipotle's, for everywhere in the world. Craig Trapp is reporting. So check that out. Link is in the description for the members only video. You do get some cool stuff, behind the scenes stuff as well. I'm just messing with Craig Trapp, but
I did it from the airplane in a 4-hour delay out on the tarmac yesterday. I did it from the plane, and I did it from the beach. I did it from the beach. I did it from the pool last week. I was all over the place. Turks and Caicos. If you like expensive alcohol, that is a place to go. It is unbelievably nice. But it's like you eat like a $100 meal with you and your girl, and you're like, oh, this wasn't bad. And all of a sudden, it's and then the taxes are. They add 22%. 12% tax and 10% gratuity, which, then we throw on another 10%. So you get 32%, extra on your bill. So it's
happy to be home, Craig, or
yeah,
what?
It sounds like you got an ass beaten.
I went to the airport.
Sounds miserable.
I went to the airport at 11 a.m. on Saturday to leave after 7 days, and I was ready to go. Get there, delayed. Finally get on the plane at 4 o'clock. The guy says, if I can get us off the ground in 19 minutes, we can go. If not, they're going to make me go back because I'm going to time out. Of course, he didn't make it. Go back. We had to spend the extra night there at the when I tell you a motel, at the airport motel.
Motel, hotel, holiday.
So then the next day, we get the same plane. We go back at 9 o'clock in the morning. We got everything back. We get on the plane, flaps. We get all the way out to the taxi, getting ready to take off. Flaps won't work. Got to go all the way back 4 hours. Finally,
this is why I don't go anywhere like that.
Finally, they get it fixed. Miss my connector. Finally, get back to Atlanta. Guess what? Bag didn't make the flight.
Oh my God, dude!
Sounds like you had a great time.
It was an unbelievable trip to that point. Other than I didn't win a whole lot last week, it was like I did hit my 7 on Saturday, but other than that, I couldn't hit anything. If I fell out of the boat, I'd miss the water while I was there. But it was.
You're on vacation mode mentally.
It happens.
This is what. Just go to Vegas. Just go to Vegas. You never have any of these issues.
Well, let me tell you, Lenny,
you're going into the game.
I text the boys down below here. I text them and I said this Saturday that I was playing the draw with Griffin on Docs Daily for the USA and I said it's the draw, man. I go, if there's ever a draw bet, the total's under 5.5. I'm betting the under. I'm betting USA and I'm betting the draw plus 285. I hit all three.
Don't you think they end the 3-on-3?
Huh?
They end the 3-on-3, right? That you can't end like that.
I got text messages from Lenny at 7:35 in the morning Central Time. Draw King smacked. USA smacked $1,500. We just woke up. It's about to be.
Like,
Lenny couldn't have been more lit than anybody in the entire
still
United States.
I'm on a roll, baby. I'm telling you right now. Sunday morning,
he hasn't slept.
My wife had to come, my wife had to come get Mandy had to come get me, and it was lunchtime on a Sunday, and I was up a couple grand in my pocket, and I was like, "But babe, look, I'm doing so good." She's like, "Yeah." I go, "Listen, I'm gonna go play craps for 30 minutes. I'll call you back." Right? And she's like, and then by the time I was done after 30 minutes, I was up, I was down, but next day I didn't get it to call her back. She showed up, so I had to come home. So
did you play craps at the D
Saturday, Craig?
Yeah, I was playing there.
You need Craig when you're playing craps, Lenny.
I was playing there. I was doing great. I thought, I don't know if I really was or not. I mean, I was up.
You were having a good time.
I put 500. I did. I put $500 on the draw at plus 290, plus 285. So that hit. USA at plus money on the money line. That hit. Under 5.5. That hit. I was like, holy shit, I'm a genius. What could go wrong?
You do not want to go because it's a British Virgin Islands. You get there, none of your apps work as far as you can't watch ESPN. You can't watch ABC. You can't watch any sports. You can't watch anything. Like I have everything. You know, I have like everything you can possibly imagine. DirecTV. I got it all. Yeah. ESPN. So I'm like, I'll be able to watch everything. As soon as you get like outside and like to the outside of the U.S., like all that stuff gets cut off. Even on the flight, Delta has like the in-flight, ABC, all that. It don't work. So it was brutal.
Did you use the Score app? Were you just using the Score app?
I'm watching the live like stuff on Twitter. Like Twitter will work, so you can see like the highlights after the fact. But I'm watching the game cast on games all weekend. That's the worst way.
They didn't have
me during 8 units. That's me.
Even at the bars, they have like soccer.
I'm not watching.
The bar has soccer.
Maybe a little.
It was. There's tons of Canadians down there because it's obviously cold. So it's, like live down there. And they're like at a bar. So we did go to a bar. I forget what it's called, but a little like beach bar in Grace Bay. And we watched the girls gold medal game because that was a little later in the
badass game too.
Yeah. I mean, they were big favorites though, right? The U.S. was big favorites there, but
no.
We just
minus 180
ass this weekend. That's all.
That's
all
not
I'm
a
hearing.
big favorite in a future.
Well,
I mean
compared to
minus 200.
I mean, if you parlayed before the Olympics, gold for the women and the men, probably paid pretty well.
It didn't pay that well, but you mean $20 is
$20. Lenny, were you on it?
$20, yeah. I mean, it did play that well for USA to win gold, and
was it 3-1, 4-1?
Yeah, I mean $20. I don't think it made me 100. So,
I mean, the women were kind of locks to win. I mean,
dude,
what was USA?
There was a 3-teamer with the men's Olympic curling team as well. If you're wondering about that, that went 2 out of 3. But
Lenny, what was USA's future going into it to win it all?
What was it? 340 plus 340?
Yeah, it was.
I think Canada was minus 140. I believe they were favorites.
Okay.
We were the second favorite.
The women were more of a favorite. The Canadian women were more of a favorite than the Canadian men team was.
Oh, really? The Canadian?
Yeah, that was the USA the USA women's Olympic team. For those of you, I know I'm going to sound like a total degenerate, folks, but if you don't watch women's hockey, the PWHL, it's Professional Women's Hockey League. It's like watching minor league hockey. Or for those of you that like collegiate hockey, college hockey is the shit. I'm telling you right now, those boys are playing and they're hitting and they're fast. If you think the NHL is fast, and it is, watch college hockey. It seems at some schools, obviously, but women's hockey, when there ain't nothing on, I mean, it's better than spring training baseball. I can tell you that. That's like watching paint dry. But
when's the World Baseball Classic? Is this like
March 12th, I believe.
Oh, so it's 2 weeks. Well,
game.
Like 2.5 weeks away.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've struggled at times in years. Some years I get way into it when it happens, but I think the last one I wasn't as into it. I don't feel like.
So just bet USA, move on. It's just a funsy bet,
Yeah.
I never get too crazy with it.
Right. I was having fun with the Olympics. That's all.
At 7 in the morning.
I mean, I was having a lot. I was having a lot of fun at 6 a.m. I'm gonna say that I was having a real good time. Yeah, I was having good times. I mean, I had breakfast, had Canadian. I had Crown Royal, which is Canadian whiskey, which I ordered at the Canada bar at the D. If you've ever been there, I ordered it as Canadian Tears. Can I have a double Canadian Tears and give me a Denver omelet? That's how I want. That's what I ate Sunday morning: a Denver omelet, some hash browns, a little well done, some wheat toast, and then I wanted Canadian Tears to wash that shit down. That's America. That should be on a Wheatie box. That on a
full Patriot mode on Sunday.
If they were facing any other country other than, like, if you were facing like Venezuela, Lenny, and there had been a bunch of Venezuelans, you might not have made it out alive. But those Canadians are so nice that they're probably
like, "Oh, we're so happy for you." I'm like,
what did sweatpants on?
Yeah, what was it? I got gym shorts on. I'm like, I'm raring to go. Yeah, it was nuts.
What was it, Barstool? What was Barstool had? And it says, like, the new shirts they put out was like, "What is Canada good at?" It said hockey, like check, and then it like draws a line through it.
No, there's so many memes. Like, the internet stays undefeated. This is one of those times where I love the internet. You know, the internet could be a horrible place. Twitter could be a horrible, horrible place. There's a lot of negativity out on the internet, but there's nothing better than a good America over Canada meme. I mean, the amount of tears involved in, like, the eagle catching the goose. I mean, there's just so many different ways that go down. And the more Canada tells us that we're trashy because we're reacting, the more we don't care. You're feeding the beast at some point. One Lenny versus 10 Canadians. I'll take Lenny all day. You're damn right, Nevada Maverick. Because I was on. My wife was like, "Are you going to the bar?" We go on Sunday mornings for Lions football at 9 a.m. Okay, game starts at 10 our time here, East Coast or West Coast football. So, you know, whatever. But I had to be there at 5 a.m. This was a different animal here.
Okay? All geared up, walking into the bar.
At 9 o'clock on Saturday night. 9 o'clock on Saturday night, I told my son, he's 23. My wife, we're all in the living room. Everybody's watching TV. I go, "All right, I'm going to bed." She's like, "It's 9 o'clock." I go, "Hey, yeah." I go, "I gotta get up early." She's like, "It's Saturday night, Lenny." I go, "Okay, I could stay up. But we all know you don't want that. I don't want that. So I'm going to bed at a reasonable time, like an adult." I set my alarm for 4 and 4:30. So by 4, I had to wake up. By 4:30, I had to leave. So I left the house at 4:45. Puck dropped at 5:10 my time. I was eating at 5:15 and drinking at 5:30.
All right. Anybody that can send.
What time did you go to bed?
Anybody that can send
about 1 o'clock
Vegas,
in the afternoon, I took a nice nap.
If anybody in Vegas can send pictures of Lenny in game during this,
dude,
send it to
I
service.
take no pictures with nobody.
Service? No, they would have to take it.
Take no pictures.
Service@docsports.com. Send it over. If you do so, we'll hook you up with the nice.
There ain't none. I take no pictures with nobody.
Dude, I'll pay whatever to see that. I will pay whatever.
Video's even better.
Yeah, the boys were rolling. I was rolling. I had this on. I had my head thing. I had my Red Wings jersey with a blue hoodie underneath it. So it was like a little red, white, and blue thing going on. I was prepared to just go topless if I had to.
Lenny was teabagging Canadians
from security footage.
Yeah, the D. What's his name?
Me just streaking down Fremont Street after we win.
Security footage.
Somebody message Derek Stevens and ask him if the security team.
All right, look, we got comments about. Let's talk. There's 3 NBA games on. Let's just talk the NBA real quick.
One good one. One real good one. Right, top team in the West, top team in the East. Oh, I mean, third team in the West, I guess, and second team in the East.
Get my Pistons hat on. It's the Pistons money line or nothing.
Oh, I don't think so.
I have a premium in that one. I could talk about the total, but I got a premium in that one.
Think about this.
It goes over because the Pistons score 175,000 points tonight. I'm on a roll.
The Spurs. The Spurs, they beat Oklahoma City, 3 or 4 times, right? I think so far.
Yeah.
They seem, which is crazy that if you would have said Wemby at his physique is going to be a guy that likes to flex on the really good teams, I'd be like, no way. It just doesn't seem. But he really gets up. I mean, he's all over Chet in those games, and I kind of think he's going to do the same tonight. He just really steps up in these big games, and I still think the West is way better than the East. I know it's maybe not as big a gap as we've seen in the last 20 years. It's maybe not as big this year, but Lenny, I hate to say this, your Pistons are a little like if they're in the West, I think they're like the third or fourth best team behind the Spurs, behind
what's funny
Oklahoma City.
Is they said that about the Ben Wallace-led Pistons too. They were the best team in the East, but they wouldn't be only mediocre in the West. And then you know what they did? They went out there and kicked the ever-living shit out of the Lakers. So I'll take
but what happens is you get weakened.
Them all.
But you get weakened in the West because you got to beat good teams throughout the playoffs for 4 series. In the East, like you play, like this year, look what's going to happen.
Yeah.
The bottom 7, 8, 9, 10 might not be 500 in the East.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's why they got to get rid of I do like the idea where like the 9 and 10 because they were trying to keep teams from doing what everybody's doing now, the tanking. But now people tank anyway, and they're still getting in because they're like, the 10th seed. And I don't know how they fix. I know they're, like what did they find? The Jazz $500,000 because they rested their starters. And in those games, 2 of the 3 games they actually won with the backups. But they still were like, we can't do this.
But there has to be some sort of precedent set, like in the bylaws somewhere. There has to be a rule change somewhere to allow that. I mean, otherwise, if you're the Jazz, you could technically argue that fine $500,000 because, like you said, you won 2 of those games. Like I'm competing. This is who I think. Who are you to tell me who I think my 5 best guys are in a situation to start? Just because based off of what they pay them.
I mean my Laura Markkanen is like he's a top 20 player in the league. He did not play those games in the fourth quarter.
I don't hate. I understand, but from a devil's advocate lawyer aspect, you could argue that point back and forth.
But
so they're going to have to make
give up their
rights. Rule.
They give up their rights though, like these owners, because if they didn't, then this would be, it would be a different story. So they're going to figure out other ways. I think I've heard some of the things where basically they're taking away some of the ping pong balls of the worst teams, and even maybe giving them to the bottom 4 because there's 12 teams that make the playoffs. Really, 2 they play the 10 teams. I'm sorry, 2 teams play the play in. The last 4 teams, so it ends up being 8. The bottom, so 5, 6, 7, 8 would actually get some ping pong balls too. So that way, it's like, hey, there's an advantage to try to finish 5, 6, 7.
Why doesn't everyone get one? Just one, and then
imagine if the Thunder and the Thunder have 1 ping pong ball and they end up with the top pick in the draft this year. Although this year, this is the deepest draft we've seen in a very, very long time.
Gamble.
There's
a lot of good college talent.
If you end up having to take the Peterson kid from Kansas that freaking doesn't want to play games, like his
what about Boozer, Duke?
I think there's some great the Debancia. I think I would probably take the kid from BYU. I mean, he don't play. He's the man.
By the way, Duke +3 to the BYU window also over the weekend. Man, Daddy was on a roll.
I was on the under. Love it.
Yeah, we talked about that. We did. We talked about that on Doc's Daily Saturday.
You were just betting against Big Brother.
No.
Michigan.
No, this wasn't a Michigan hate thing. This was a.
Oh, we went deep with that one.
Yeah, we went 5. There was a 10-minute breakdown. I don't know.
There was no homer play in that one.
It was really not a homer play. I think it was a dogfight game, and I wanted 3 points.
I can't believe I really thought Michigan.
I loved them in a teaser too.
So did I, Craig. I was on. Michigan. I liked it.
Michigan would win. To be honest, I thought Houston would beat Arizona this weekend too, and that didn't happen. I mean, Houston got screwed at Iowa State last week in the middle of the game. I mean, absolutely screwed. The kick call where ended up being a 3 when they called it, that they were going to have a breakaway to get a 2 and ended up being a 5-point difference. That was just absolutely brutal. A couple bad calls there, but then Arizona went into Houston and just stomped them. And Arizona hadn't been playing great. Like that conference is, and now Houston plays
another one tonight. Yeah.
Kansas. I mean, 3 ranked teams, 2 of them on the road in a week. in 7 maybe 8 days. I mean, absolute brutal night. I mean, I love that game tonight. I think it's going to be a absolute. I mean, not a game I would be heavy as far as betting. I think I would take Houston. I think they're slightly better, but on the road, Kansas, my Bearcats beat them. You know they're ready to bounce back. So, but I still think
Cincinnati's playing good, Craig. Cincinnati's won.
Since that coach,
great.
Since he had
somebody had a free pick on Cincinnati.
He had the since he basically cried on the radio and was apologizing to the fans underneath. They've won 4 straight games by 15 points. 2 of them ranked teams. They've also now on the year beat Iowa State when they were undefeated, and they won at Kansas, which is the first time Kansas unranked. It's the biggest loss by unranked team on the road at Kansas.
It was 20 points. It was by 20 points. They torched them. I've been watching.
But I do think Kansas was looking ahead to this game tonight. So it was a really good spot. But still, in the Big 12, you still have to win. And, that's the good thing about being in the Big 12, Big 10 this year, even the SEC. It's just the next night. You play bad one night, look at the next game, and you're going to have another chance at a ranked team. My Bearcats are going to mess around and not get to fire the coach because I really want them to fire Wes Miller, but
anytime Kansas loses too, and I said it last time they lost against Iowa State, they usually follow it up with a very good game. We saw them beat, I believe it was Oklahoma State there on the road. They blew them out. So after that loss to Cincinnati, I wouldn't be surprised if Kansas gets this one. They're dogs here at home. They're going to compete after that loss in Cincinnati. So I like the Kansas Jayhawks here at home to respond.
Well, remember they beat Arizona without Peterson. Remember, he got sick in warmups, and then they go out and beat. That was when Arizona was undefeated. So I mean, it's a real thing. I mean, I think it's a tough place to play. But I will say this: if there's any team backed in the corner, which they've lost 2 in a row, I can't see Houston losing 3 in a row. That's the one. I mean, I think Kelvin Sampson is one of the best coaches. He does not have the best talent, and yet every year they're in the Final Four or in the conversation.
Can I just put Kansas in a teaser?
5-point teaser, so you get them at 7, 8.
4 points. 4 points.
I think they're good. The value's taking Kansas straight up here.
I have them straight up as well. I don't like the fact that you got to rely on Houston to lose 3 in a row. I don't like the third one.
That's why I like it.
I know. I know. But I bounce back. Kansas after Cincinnati, at home in Lawrence, points. God bless it. It seems a little trappy.
Both sides, though, because everybody else in their life is going to be dependent on Houston coming in a bounce back game.
But not lose 3 in a row.
Yeah, they just played number 4 ranked Arizona, and they got throttled in that game. Yep. Everybody's going to be back in the team that's been the best team in the country for years on end. And then on top of that, as Craig mentioned, Kelvin Sampson, one of the best head coaches in all of college basketball. And everybody knows about the Houston defense, but I will say this. I don't think this defense is as good as it was last year. And Kansas, on the other flip of the coin, Kansas is way better than they were last year. This team's been kind of in and out for the past 3-4 years. I believe this team's kind of finally found their groove. They found it in that statement game when they beat the hell out of, I want to say it was Iowa State. They were catching a number and they drilled them. And from that point, Kansas has been legit. They're 11-2 at home in this spot, coming off a loss. Usually that's where that revenge trap types that comes into play. But you've got Houston on a 2-game losing streak. You've got Kansas coming off a loss. I think this is a good revenge spot for Kansas to come back in and get this one, especially losing to Houston earlier on in a 65-59 final back on March 3rd, 2025. It's a good spot for Kansas. I like it.
They beat Arizona when they were undefeated. They beat Arizona when they were undefeated. They beat Iowa State when they're undefeated. They've had some statement. As far as statement wins this year, I don't think Kansas is going to be a number 1 or 2 seed. But dude, you do not want to see them in your side of the bracket. If you're if they end up being a 4 seed and you're the number 1 team, you're like, dude, they beat Arizona, they beat Iowa State. If they beat Houston tonight, you're like, dude, they beat some of the best teams in the country this year. And they've done it without Peterson. That game they beat Arizona, he did not play at all. The game against Iowa State, I think he did play that entire game, but that game was really never close. It was, blowout. So, they have played and they've played the who's who of outside of the conference too. So
next Saturday, Arizona plays Kansas.
The 7th.
Yeah, that's who Kansas has on deck.
At Kansas,
this
right?
Houston game, they have to play Arizona.
It's at Kansas, right, Lenny?
No, they already beat them at Kansas. That was one without Peterson.
It's at Arizona.
At Arizona.
I mean, I thought Arizona, but Pete was hurt
too. 1 o'clock.
Pete has been hurt a little
Eastern.
bit, but he's starting to play better. That's their star freshman, Arizona. He's back some. Looks like he's almost full go. Man, this team doesn't have a lot of weakness. I still think it's going to be Arizona, Houston, Michigan, UConn, and Duke. I think out of those teams is where the champion's coming. But it's going to be mass chaos other than that, because look at the Big 12, look at the SEC. I mean, it's like one night Kentucky will beat a ranked team, then the next night they get killed. It's like, like that whole conference is – and then you still have teams like Michigan State that's like they've had some statement wins this year. I don't think they're as good as what I thought early in the year. Sorry, Lenny, but I do think you don't want to play them if you're in the tournament.
I like Arkansas this year, especially with the way that, they should have won that game in Alabama, but just their physicality and their pace of play, it reminds me of an Alabama team. I think they're going to be very hard to beat come tournament play. But I want to get back to Anthony here in the chat. He says UTRG, Texas Rio Grande money line here. So be very careful with this one, because McNeese State, they have 5 losses on the season. They've lost to them on the road earlier by 3 points, where they shot one of the worst performances of the season. And now they're back at home. This is a revenge spot here. They're coming into town. They're both on winning streaks, but they're 13-0. McNeese State is at home. I think that this is a revenge spot here. Lay the points. I like it. The number keeps dropping. Wait till tip-off here, closer to tip-off. You might get this number down to 9-8. I'm looking at 9.5 right now. This morning it was 10.5. So this number keeps dropping. I like McNeese State here at home.
It was 11.5. It opened at 11.5. So, I mean, this lamb has come flying down.
I thought I was safe at -10. I got it at -10 earlier, and I was like, oh, okay, perfect. I saw 11.5. I'm like, great. And now it's coming down even more, and I'm like, oh, whatever.
McNeese State and SF Austin, both places. Stephen F. Austin, those are the top 2 teams in the Southland, I think that is. I think one of those teams most likely. But remember, this is a one-bid conference. So these games are just like to set up for the conference tournament. The conference tournament, whoever wins the conference tournament goes, the other one is going to end up in the NIT. But McNeese State, for people that don't know, that's where Will Wade was. And that team made the tournament the last 2 years. Now he's at NC State. Almost all those players, all but I think one of the really good players, transferred with him or graduated. So what they've done to rebuild that McNeese State team is you got to take your hat off there a little bit.
What about Louisville, North Carolina? That's another big game, ACC.
Yeah, I like that game. It's gonna be this is gonna be a hell of a game.
Wilson's out. I love that Wilson kid. I thought he was gonna be he's one of those other freshmen that's gonna be highly drafted. I thought he could sneak into that 3rd, 4th, 5th spot in the draft, because he's not the most explosive guy as far as like scorer, but he's just so long and lanky. It's like, dude, this guy's going to be a long player. He can switch out and guard pretty much anybody, any position. But he's out, might be out for the year. He's out with a broken hand, I believe it is. So since then, that win at Syracuse this weekend was pretty good, because remember, Syracuse, they were down by like 30, came roaring back in their first matchup, and they didn't have Wilson. But they did get drilled against a decent NC State team before that. That was at NC State, but they just, they don't have a whole lot of inside scoring presence, which that's where they were really hurting people with Wilson and company. So I do think Louisville covers tonight, but man, the numbers moved to 3.5 out there.
3.5.
So like I liked it at 2 when I got it this morning, and I gave it out as a small play. It's the only play I liked in college basketball, but just like a 2-unit play, nothing crazy tonight. But I do think Louisville's a better team. Coach Kelsey's an unbelievable coach, but they have not been great on the road. That's their one. Like, I think, what are they, 3-5 on the road or something? It's not pretty.
No, I don't have the road record pulled up in front of me, but I will say, Craig, I back you on that. I'm on Louisville in this game as well. I think they're the better team overall. I think a lot of people are going to get caught up in the North Carolina at home with this game being in Chapel Hill, where they are a perfect 15-0, and with North Carolina in their most recent matchup beating Syracuse. I will say, though, North Carolina in that game, they had them leaped the entire first half of that game. Come second half, Syracuse really started climbing, because Syracuse was actually favored in that game, laying 2 points. So North Carolina getting the win outright and covering the spread in that game. So it's a good look for the Tar Heels, definitely entering this one, especially at home. And then on top of that, the last time these two teams played each other, Louisville beat them in an 83-70 final. So that causes more deception of revenge spot for North Carolina at home in this game. Whilst for me, I believe Louisville is a better team. They crash the boards harder. They have better shooters. I think they have more depth, as you already explained. I think Louisville comes in there and gives it to them. I don't love that 3.5. I liked it better at 2.5 this morning as well. But if I'm taking a play, I'm laying the wood here with Louisville.
Louisville, remember, it's a little deceiving. The two losses against against Duke, the first game was at home. They were up like 12 at half and ended up getting beat by 20. Then they're like down 3 or 4 or 5 points at Duke like 2 or 3 weeks later and get blown out the second half again. So it's like those games were at least competitive. It just didn't end that way. So I think a lot of people are like, oh, Louisville's not that good. It's like, well, if they win one of those 2 games, then people would really be thinking how good Louisville is. They just haven't been good on the road. They're 2-6 against the spread on the road, 3-5 straight up. So that's the one worry why it wasn't a bigger play for me. I do think I played against Pat Kelsey my entire life, same age as me. He played at the West Side Catholic School kids. I played at the East Side Catholic School leagues. This kid can play ball and he can coach. And I think he's done a hell of a job at Louisville there. He did a great job. If you guys didn't follow, he was at College Charleston, really good there. He was before that, he was at Winthrop. That he built them back up. So this is his 3rd rebuild, and he continues to do it. And great recruits that he has there.
Yeah, I ain't got much light day today, folks. Light day.
Well, there's that other NBA. There's 2 other NBA games that I thought were
Kings and the Grizzlies, Jazz, Rockets.
Yeah,
I don't want nothing to do with it.
That Kings Grizzlies game looks like a trap to me. I mean, the Kings 16-game losing streak. Yeah, they're plus 3.5 here. It doesn't make much sense. They scored 122 against, I believe it was the San Antonio Spurs in their last game. I like the over in this matchup. Again, I like San Antonio Kings or the San Antonio Kings in this matchup just because the line, I think it's too trappish here. They're on a 16-game losing streak, and they have 3 wins this season on the road. Something ain't right here. I lean towards the Kings, but I'm going with the over as I think there will be a lot of points scored in this one.
Hasn't Memphis beat them all 3? I think they played 3 times this year. Memphis beat them all 3 times. They only have 21 wins on the year. Memphis and 3 of them are against Sacramento. They're like, hey, can we just play Sacramento every game? But let's be honest. Neither one of these teams want to win this game.
Yeah. I can't put money on that.
They don't want to win.
My degenerate ass don't want nothing to do with that.
Like, this is a good game for props. Westbrook has not played good.
Yeah,
he's the king of stat stuffing. I think he hasn't had I think he's 6 and 7 points the last couple of games. I kind of like him over the points tonight. This is the type of game where he'll get 20 points, but it'll be all in mop up duty. They'll be down 20 or something, and he'll be still going when you play open gym. It's that one kid that's going hard. That's
how about this? Westbrook prop over 3.5. Over 1.5 3-pointers made.
No, he's such a bad shooter. I can't ever take that.
Minus 115.
He's so. I don't understand how you can play in the league this long and not, because remember when Jason Kidd came in the league? You guys probably don't remember, but Lenny does. He was one of the worst 3-point shooters, and he developed into
only 11.5.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Other than the last 2, if you take those last 2 off, he gets 15 points because he gets so many at the rim. I like him to go over
this game. I'm talking myself into bet.
Westbrook's a dish out, man. That's your assist, man.
Yeah, well, I'm not.
He gets them both, but he gets a lot of breakout.
Who's he gonna pass to? The team sucks. They're tanking. I'm not. I can't talk myself into that bet.
I don't understand what they were doing at the trade deadline. Unless nobody wanted Sabonis, I was like, dude, Sabonis has got to go because you're not winning with him. Get some picks, get younger and they're one of the older teams. Remember when it's the Bulls West. They got DeRozan and Levine. They went from they had Fox and Sabonis. They had all these guys that were young and upcoming. All of a sudden they traded away last year. I'm like, what are you doing? These 2 guys are not guys that are going to be with you by the time you're good in 3 years.
That's why they're so bad. That's why they got arguments on the season. Yeah, all the Bulls players.
Yeah. I actually like what Memphis did a little more because Jaren, it was the same thing. Jaren Jackson weren't winning with him, so it was they got a bunch of picks. They tried to trade John Morant. No one wants him. I mean, I think he's due over the next 2 years $99 million. So it's nobody with 2 years on his contract was yeah, let's step into that. A little different. Trae Young, at least Trae Young wasn't a distraction like on the court and off the court. Like he might not play defense and everything, but it's like you can at least try to build around him. But it's like no one wanted Ja Morant, so I don't know what they're going to do. I guess just wait that contract out. So, but the late game though is a little more interesting.
I love that game. I'll be honest, I love it.
Jazz Rockets.
Yeah, I love it. There is so
Talk
much
about
in
it.
that
Talk
game.
to me about that game.
I can't, bro. I haven't.
You can't. Oh, that's why you like it. Okay.
I kind of think
you like it that much.
Take the over. I'll give you a total.
But isn't this the game that if you like, it's kind of like a correlated parlay game. If you like Utah to cover, you should be playing the over. And if you think, because Houston, if you like Houston, you kind of got to play the under. Because when Houston plays, it's really their defense. They did not address at the trade deadline. I like Jabari Smith over his point total tonight because he's the only guy at Shepherd, too. He's really the only two guys that could shoot threes other than Durant. But, I mean, Durant's double teamed every time he comes off screen. It's like they have no shooting on that team. It is like it's the Thompson guy, the twin that, the other one plays for Detroit. Neither one that can shoot outside the lane. Like, dude, you guys are the most athletic guys in the league. If you guys get jump shots just the way you can make, Draymond Green type thing where you make 1 out of 3, you're going to be impossible to guard, but neither of them even pretend to want to shoot outside. All
right, that's enough about that game. I know
it's ugly.
What I
it's
do.
ugly. I want nothing to do with
it. Yes, it's over. It's possible. I'm not betting. No betting allowed. NBA. No betting allowed.
Let's go back to hockey real quick here. Just a couple minutes.
Wednesday.
I know we're a little over. This is basically the second half of the season's in front of us, basically. Correct. Even though there's a little past, right? If you get past Colorado, they're plus 350 to win it all. You get past the Lightning at plus 400. Like it's pretty open. I guess Carolina's plus 450. Everyone else is 8 to 1 or more. Is there anybody, Nick, as our biggest hockey guy, I would say, anybody outside of those guys that you lean towards?
I mean, you gotta look at the Winnipeg Jets. Why? Connor Hellebuck. That type of performance in the Olympics could boost a whole season and turn around a season. Yeah, they haven't been playing great, but now watch their defense and how many goals they allow here with Connor in that confidence. I'm high on the Winnipeg Jets here, making a nice little run. They got the position players, they have the defense, and clearly have the goaltending when the lights are bright. Obviously, people want to bash on Connor Hellebuck for not being a great goaltender, but I think he put those doubters to rest in the Olympics. So a team to watch out for is definitely Winnipeg. I like the Dallas Stars as well to make a little run. We'll see what they do, but they need a little bit better on the defense into the neutral zone. So I like Dallas, but my high hopes is Winnipeg here just because Connor Hellebuck and that confidence after winning a gold medal and what it's going to do here for the Jets should be something to watch.
500 to 1.
What about Minnesota?
500 to 1. 14 to 1 for Dallas. Yeah, 14 to 1 for Dallas, 500 to 1. Winnipeg, just because where the record is, they're going to be at the back. I mean, they're going to have to – they might have to beat – they will. They would have to beat 3 teams that would have more wins than them to win it. Which, not that we haven't seen that. What was it?
Panthers were last year. They were the
Panthers. They were on every game, and then I guess the Kings, right, that won it that year as an 8 seed. So it's not like that hasn't happened in hockey before. And like you are right. Now it is a long haul left in front of them. So it's almost like, will they get like that push from the Olympics, all that confidence, and then it just runs out of steam? Because, that is a lot of emotion that is used up on Olympics. I kind of wonder, I was going to ask you, who does it have a negative or positive if you had a team with a bunch of Olympians in it? Is that a positive or a negative? Because the emotion, and you might be worn out.
A lot of people on Team USA is a positive for sure. They haven't won it in 46 years, and now you're coming back knowing that you did that for your country. So they're going to play with a little pep in their step, the guys that were on Team USA. But Team Canada, maybe it hurts them a little bit. Maybe they're emotionally banged up. They're not the top of the top here in the hockey world. So we'll see how much of an effect it does have on those Canadian players.
Yeah, I would be careful.
Hold on. Don't just bet. Some of those American players are on Canadian teams. So don't go just baiting the Ottawa Senators because Canada lost. Some of those Canadian players play for your American team as well. I'll ask you this. Let me ask you this, Nick, real quick. the Jets are plus 1,200 to make the playoffs on DraftKings right now. Anaheim is the last place to make the playoffs. It's 63 points. The Jets right now are at 52 points, 11 points behind. So they would just have to make 11 points up. That is doable with a goalie who's standing on his head. The problem with Winnipeg is we've been waiting all year for them to get right with Jesus, and they haven't. Maybe, and that Hellebuck hasn't either as a Jet. That team is, we've talked about this many times. They're broken. I don't know if this is enough offensively, though. That's where they're really broken. Defensively, take Jets unders. That's what I would do. That's how I would go at this. Take Jets unders.
Anaheim's won 8 of
them in games. He will keep them in games, but their offense is just like, it's not injury. It's not. I thought it was coaching. I don't know what it is, but they're just not on the same page offensively, and it's bad. Any hockey analysis guy you watch on internet or cable TV says the same thing. They don't have an answer for what's wrong with Winnipeg offensively.
Agreed.
Anaheim won 8 of the last 10 games. Anaheim was one of the hottest teams, so that's this is a big, because we really don't have this history to go off. We've never had this long of in recent history, this long a break in the middle of the season. Does that 8 out of 10 hot streak from Anaheim, does it just basically start from scratch? Because obviously it's been so long ago. Now, obviously, the teams that weren't in the Olympics, they've been practicing.
Period. Anaheim's been terrible for 10 years, 15 years.
Right.
When was the last time his team was
good?
Anaheim
stays. I think Utah's the one that falls.
What about San Jose to make the playoffs? What are those odds?
Can't be good.
They got to jump a bunch of
teams. Than you think. It is closer than you think.
Dude, I like the Wild.
Plus 230.
Wild are
See, Sharks plus 230. If I'm going to take a stab like that, I want more. I want more. I want a little more because I think they can. I think someone like, we're talking in the West. I think someone like Utah, who's got 64 points, I think they fall hard. They're going to be a team I'd go against in the second half of the year because I think the best hockey for their season has already been played, to be honest with you. I think they're going to do nothing. They've already peaked. Dallas, I agree with you on Dallas. I think Dallas could give Dallas going to make some moves, jump some spot, or could jump Minnesota, but they're going to play with Colorado. Colorado's come down to earth before the break. They
needed the break though. They were so hot for so long.
They were falling off a little bit.
I kind of wonder. I'm going to go back and I'm going to look how teams started the first week of the season, and kind of look and see who were the hottest teams the first week of the season, and kind of give a little more weight to that than how teams finished.
And keep in mind,
you're from that.
This is not halfway through the year. This isn't halfway. We're more than halfway. Yeah. A lot of these teams have played 58, 57 games. Someone like Colorado's only played 55. They only play 82. So they're over halfway through the year, about 65%. So there's not a lot of time for adjustments to be made like you would have in MLB with the whole half, first half, second half. So Colorado.
Well, the All-Star game was usually what? But wasn't the All-Star game for both the NHL and NBA a little past the half season? But this one they had to wait longer because it's the Olympics.
Because of the Olympics, right? And it's going to happen every 4 years. Yeah. It is what it is.
Well, I don't know. I heard that there's no guarantee that they'll play again, that the NHL owners will let them play in 4 years. Every year, every time, it's kind of like a negotiation.
All it takes is one guy to get hurt.
The
one guy, and then they're done.
The Kings, one of the guys, I think he tore his ACL. So they'll be without him on the defensive side.
Sidney Crosby got banged up during that. There's a couple people got banged up for Team Canada.
I mean, it's good for hockey. If you're a professional hockey, it's good that you're pushing your sport. It's the major sport in the Winter Olympics. But it's also one of those things like, dude, if you're an owner and you've invested all this millions to a guy like Sidney Crosby or McDavid, or one of these guys goes down and is out for like a year, where it's like you lose the rest of this year and half of next year. It's like, dude, that is hard to swallow. Luckily, I don't think we saw any of the really as long as Crosby comes back, I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, you know what I loved out of the Olympic hockey for real was Italy's goalie game 1. Damian Clara, something or whatever his name is. He's in the Anaheim Ducks. He got drafted out of 20. Nobody pays attention to the NHL draft. They're drafting kids 15 years old. You know what I mean? They're whatever. He got drafted 2023 from the Ducks. This kid's like 6'6", 225. He's a wall. He withstood 49 shots before he just sprawled. He tore something down below abdomen wise or groin. But that guy, he held his own against an NHL. He took advantage of the stage and the time frame. I'll tell you what, you're going to see him in the NHL quicker than you won't.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I like that we have the NBA and NHL guys in, but I do remember when they weren't in, and it was still just as big at games. And it builds new stars. That is the positive.
College hockey is fun to watch, and that's what you'll see.
I do think we don't have as big as advantage there, so it's probably not good for the U.S. because it's just like soccer. It's like the younger it gets, they're just better at a younger age than we are, and there's more of our guys, so I think we survive later. So, but I will say this: I do like the second half. Like I said, be careful though. We start back on Wednesday. Don't just be firing all your profits away, because there's going to be some teams that play really well. There's going to be some teams that are going to take a couple games, maybe even 2 or 3. So don't be surprised if a really good team in the first – and we're basically 2/3 through the season almost. Like if a team from the first half starts 0-3, don't be like, oh, well, they can't lose the next game, because they can't.
All right, I'm still going to fade Vancouver every game they play because it's Vancouver. I don't care how many U.S. stars they got on there, or Canadian, or what other country. I'm still fading Vancouver, St. Louis, the Devils, the Rangers. The Rangers are the East Coast version, or the Eastern Conference version of the Winnipeg Jets. I don't know what's wrong with them. And then they
just
didn't
the
know
home
either.
too, right?
So then
they have the worst home record. They have the
Huh?
worst home record in the NHL, right? Which is like, you would think the Rangers, playing in New York City, that would be a huge advantage.
Technically, Vancouver has a worse record at 6-17-4, but the Rangers are 6-15-4. Like,
That's
you
crazy.
couldn't. That's stupid.
Really, the Maple Leafs are 6 wins at home.
No, the Vancouver Canucks 6-17-4.
Like you said, Toronto.
The Leafs are plus 340 to make the playoffs.
Dude, I hope to God they do.
That.
Because you want to know why? I want more Canadian tears. I want more Canadian tears. They taste so good. And every time Toronto makes the playoffs, you just fade them. Let them win. Last year they won us, fail. Any locks
today. Disappointments.
Yes, there's all kinds of them. They're at the hardware store. They come with keys. I don't know.
I would not be out there putting a crazy number out today in any of the. I mean, there's 14 games to bet on today. So
it's I bet on one NBA game, one college basketball game. And
there's some great, those two college basketball games are going to be great to watch.
Right.
Yeah.
But you want to dabble a little bit, like Louisville. I like Louisville and Houston, so I would, I'll put a piece of money on that. But I'm not going crazy because I'm looking ahead rest of the week. There's some games I love, and I'm going to get down 6, 7, 8 units, maybe even. I haven't had my game of the year yet. I've been so close. I was so close to Cal over Stanford this weekend. It was 7 units. I probably should have pulled the trigger, but I was in island time, and it was like, paying $92.
Ruin your trip.
$92 for a case at the IGA. $92 for a case of Michelob Ultra kind of did me in. It kind of effed me up midweek. I was just like,
$92.
$92
for $92 American.
American. They take American
for
dollars.
A case of beer.
And then I got a bottle of Jack Daniels because that's my get down, and just a regular bottle, not like a big liter. $88 for that.
Okay, that's a better value though, because I'm gonna get way more.
But
why don't we buy a bunch of our shit and bring it out there and sell it?
Dude, I should have just packed in my suitcase.
Okay, we'll have to talk off air about import export business.
Dude, are you kidding me? We just
what we can and cannot do, boys. But we'll talk about that later.
They do have customs there, so you got to be careful.
I mean, there's.
We'll ship it.
Again,
we'll ship it. Don't worry, we got
before we incriminate ourselves. Our views of Doc Sports are not necessarily those of the people on camera. Okay. Okay. So there's a lot of big college basketball games on tomorrow. Before we leave here with 2 minutes, biggest game that you're looking to watch, not necessarily bet, but look at. I mean, I'm interested in Miami, Ohio, Eastern Michigan. I don't know if Scott, you're still in the chat, but I think the Eagles, maybe it's just the USA and me and the Eagle thing, but I think the Eastern Michigan Eagles might.
Miami's going to stay undefeated. Last game of the year for Miami, they play at Ohio. This is the Battle of the Bricks. It is the biggest rivalry in the MAC. And dude, you don't think they would love to end to put one loss and it'd be the last game of the regular season?
Lenny called that one on Saturday. Lenny called that on Saturday. Ohio beat them on the last game of the year.
I did read Joe Lunardi that if they would lose and Ohio State continues to kind of win, they just lose one, win one, lose one, win, that they could end up playing in Dayton in the play-in game. Miami of Ohio versus Ohio State is what he actually was picking as 11 and 12 seeds. You know how that matches up. And I'm like, dude, talking about a Tuesday or Wednesday, just in-state guys with that. Miami from Dayton,
Ohio.
Miami from Dayton
is like Ohio on a Tuesday.
It's probably 30 minutes from Dayton. So and only like 45 to an hour from so Ohio State, it would be an absolute war. So hopefully Miami does better and wins. I'd like to see him win out. I'd love to see him be undefeated. Yeah. Because what would you do with him? You don't want to put him as 8 or 9 seed. I don't know. Like,
what are they? 27-0 right now? 26-0.
Oh, hey, Scott's been saying 26. This all the whole time. Oh, the Ohio Bobcats is what he means to say. Put some respect on their name. The Ohio Bobcats will hire some homer reps to win the last game. Scott, it's not a good look to already call up excuses 3 games before. You should.
I think Akron's going to win the MAC tournament.
See, that's my angle.
Greg, they are no joke.
Akron's going to win the MAC tournament. Is my prediction.
And
then Miami will get an at-large, and they'll get 2 from the MAC in, and then I would be like, oh, did Miami let them? But like I do think that last game is scary if you're Miami and you're trying to obviously stay undefeated. So, Travis Steele hasn't resigned.
Is looking ahead. They're going to get caught looking ahead to Ohio Bobcats, and they're going to lose to Eastern Michigan or Western Michigan.
Did you see Travis Steele's press conference
in their season this year?
He was like, they offered him, of course, a contract extension to make him the highest paid player or the coach in the MAC. And he's like, yeah, I haven't got to it. I'll get to it after the season. Like, yeah, you haven't got to it because you don't want to have a buyout in there and you want to make them pay more because some teams. I mean, he was coach at Xavier, obviously. People don't know for a couple of years there. So like he has experience and was assistant coach at Xavier for a long time. So there's going to be a lot of people come calling for Travis Steele.
Oh, no, man. I do think Akron's the better team out of everybody there in the MAC.
They are very good under the radar, small conference, quote unquote school, and they beat the shit out of bad teams. They beat up on good teams too. Akron is going to be a very sneaky beast. I've been riding that team all year long.
Yeah, not an easy out by any team.
Yeah, they're
so tomorrow the game to watch though, I do believe is NC State, Virginia. Virginia's had an unbelievable year. But NC State is tough team. They can score lots of points. Not the greatest defensive team at times, but I kind of want. If you look at Virginia's wins, they really haven't played the toughest schedule. They've kind of been because these conferences are so big, you can avoid some of the best teams where you only play them once. It's kind of like the Big Ten in football the last few years, where it's basically like you didn't play Ohio State, Oregon, and Indiana. Well, you have a good, Michigan had a good, and then all of a sudden they get stomped when they play good teams. So we'll see that should be an indicator game. I think NC State's a borderline tournament team, so that'd be a pretty good game tomorrow and high scoring too. And I know it's hard to think of, because we think of the Tony Bennett defense. That is not what Virginia plays now. It's like up and down.
I'm glad you said that, Craig. A lot of people are still caught up on that. This Virginia defense who only allows 50 points per game.
Yeah.
Things have changed. It is not the same defense anymore.
Now.
Literally. I'm glad you
said they won this weekend. I think it was they played Virginia Tech. Was it Virginia?
Miami.
No. Miami gave them a really good run covered, but Virginia pulled. They've had a lot of really close wins. That's a good thing. Obviously, if you're a team, you're finding ways to win. But as a bettor, you kind of can get tied up into that really good record overall, and you're not looking at the against the spread record. So I think that NC State's a live underdog in that spot, I think.
How much does Michigan beat Minnesota by after that Duke loss? Yeah. First of all, Michigan's at home in Ann Arbor, playing a 13-14 Minnesota team, 6-10 in the Big Ten overall. They're terrible. It's going to be – I don't want to watch. I'm going to feel bad for Minnesota.
The line's going to be 20. 19.5 to 20, I'm guessing.
I wouldn't back either team.
No, it's that those are the tough games because Michigan because they've been murdering teams when they beat them. It's like the lines are so big.
And they're angry.
Yeah.
And I don't want to play an angry Michigan team. As a Michigan State fan, I don't want to play an angry Michigan team.
After a first loss, like I always like to fade teams coming back the next game. I'll play against them again. But they've already, this isn't like their first loss of the year. They've already had losses. So that betting angle is kind of out the window. And Minnesota has had some nice wins this year. I think they beat Wisconsin, maybe? Or maybe Wisconsin beat them at the buzzer.
And they just blew out Rutgers in their most recent matchup.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's not like –
beat them by 20.
Not like they're terrible. Now, talent-wise, I think Michigan is
Charles
super
Barkley
talented. Terrible.
Who's what? Did you just say Michigan State's terrible?
No, Michigan. No, Minnesota. I need to get.
What about the fight, Craig?
Talk about them states.
I need to get some of the Charles Barkley, whatever weight loss pill he's on. Like, we need to sponsor me. So if you're the Row, I think he's on Row or something. I forget what it is. You can message us.
Not Ozempic. He's not on Ozempic.
No, he's sponsored. He's like the spokesman for whatever it is. It's like, I forget what it is. It's not Ozempic though.
I just think that shit's too much work, man. Like, I don't mind being
no
this
good
big.
for you.
I don't give a shit.
Ozempic, no good.
Like, I'm telling you right now, I don't care
I can be bought for
what I look like.
$1 million
right now, folks. Do you think I care if I'm thin or not? Or if I think that you think I'm fat?
I mean, I don't care, but if someone's going to give me $1 million, I will do whatever you ask. I'll take a couple pills.
I'll do whatever you ask. Hey, I was young. $20, okay?
Yeah.
Nick, are you at school? Looks like
Nick is literally right behind me.
No, I'm at the studio. He's in the studio right now. I got to go in the next room across.
Nick, blink twice if you want me to send the lawyer, okay?
It's like when you're in the airport and it says, like, you go to the bathroom and it says, like, be looking out for sex trafficking or something. I'm like, in the bathroom we put this?
Nick is stuck at customs. What would have been better is Craig was in this his background behind him.
Trying to steal booze.
We'll flop next week, Nick.
Dude, at Turks and Caicos
next week.
They push stuff you put through. I don't even think they're watching. It's like they're all talking to each other on their phones. They're not even watching. Like, the stuff go through security. They're like, we don't give a shit. You're leaving the island. We don't care.
Yeah, what do you take from here? Go ahead. Good luck.
I mean, I went through it twice in 16 hours, 14 hours.
I don't think any customs people worry about what you're leaving with.
When you come into the U.S.
anytime
now?
I cross the border, the American side, when I used to go to Canada, they never cared what we were doing when we left. They only give a shit what we were doing when we came back.
See, for me, it's opposite. They didn't care going out, but on the way back was always
going out. They're like, Godspeed, young man. You're 19. You're going to Canada. We know what you're going for. Don't bring back anything, young man, including STDs. Good luck.
I think we need to start on Lenny's days. We put up how many games there are in the NHL, and then we set a line over under how many totals or what do you call it? Draws. Yeah.
I like to have 1 to 2.
I have a 3.5 median on a 6-play
card. Hey, I gotta go. My bag's here. The guy just pulled up with my bag. I gotta go.
Chipotle's here. All right, folks. Good luck unless you're against this. Don't forget, check out the free $60 account. The link is in the description.
He flew out
of the video. He really did just leave. He's out. All right. The link is in the description of the video. Check it out. Check out either one of these guys' free plays or on the YouTube. What?
Keep going. I can hear you, Lenny. Keep going.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Check out the free $60 account. Links in the description of the video. Use it on either one of their guys' plays, premium plays over at the website. Nick, what do you got going on tonight?
Just two plays. One in college basketball 4-unit, one in NBA 4-unit. 2 plays on the board, low volume today.
Love it. What do you got?
Is he asking me what my plays are?
Yes.
Yeah. It's very small. It's very small card today for me. I can't hear you, Letty.
I know.
No college basketball. We completely passed the slate today. We've had 5 of 7 winning consecutive days. NBA, we've been red hot. I will say, I want to say 14-6 in my last 20 for about $3,000 in profit. I've got a 4-unit selection, a part of a 2-unit selection, 2-play card, and then I have a 4-unit player prop in that same game with the 4-unit selection. That is my plays for today. Low volume, don't like the board whatsoever other than NBA.
Check us out Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern, Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Tony George will be on tomorrow for Doc's Daily tomorrow. Good luck unless you're against us.